Greetings, taxable assets, or should I say, collateral damage. Welcome to the Departmento Analytica. I am Senior Auditor Valarius Krauss.
And I am Scribe Servitor, Unit 734. Attendance is mandatory.
Look at this mess on my desk, Scribe. Just look at it. We are drowning in bureaucracy. The galaxy is burning. My recap tastes like engine coolant. And what do I have to deal with?
Another report. Auditor.
A liability. A massive, unsecured financial liability in the form of a new 40k rules drop. It's been flagged for immediate audit.
The report from the civilian contractor. The one labeled Ospecs Tactics.
The very same. This civilian chatter, this noise. They think they understand the movement of assets. They think they understand the Red Corsairs.
They do not.
But look at this transcript. It is rife with errors, gloss-brained analysis, and a fundamental misunderstanding of the imperial tithe. The civilian contractor has sent us this garbage. Time to balance the books.
Initiating audit protocol, 40k RC, Auditor Krauss. I have the final Warhammer 40k meta report synthesis. The ledger open on my cogitator. Shall I cross-reference?
Immediately. We are going to take this civilian report, this content, and we are going to audit it against the cold, hard reality of the math. We're looking at the Huron Blackheart asset and the so-called masters of the maelstrom.
It's a significant portfolio shift.
It is. The community thinks this is a game release. I see it for what it is. A massive shifting of capital from the Black Legion Castle portfolio into a high-risk, high-yield piracy scheme. Now, read the first discrepancy.
Yes, Auditor. Section 1, Nomenclature and Identity Verification. The civilian contractor's transcript begins with an analysis of the source of the leaks. Reading from the transcript now. Early transcripts of the rules analysis frequently cited a source referred to as Aspect Tactics.
Aspect Tactics. Scribe, does the Departmento employ an Aspect? Is that a registered vendor on our list?
Well, no, Auditor. The ledger confirms the entity is Ospecs Tactics, a known analytical engine, a number cruncher.
Exactly. It is a filing error punishable by servo lobotomy. Auspecs Tactics is a premier analytical channel. They use spreadsheets. They use slides. They're practically one of us, yet this transcription software cannot even get the vendor's name right.
It compromises the data integrity from the start.
It obscures the provenance of the statistical data. If we don't know who filed the return, how can we tax them? How can we audit their methodology? This isn't just a typo, Scribe. It's the foundation of the entire audit. Get the name wrong, and everything that follows is suspect. Correct the record.
Record corrected to Auspex Tactics. Moving to the next discrepancy in the civilian transcript. It concerns the identity of the chief apothecary.
Ah, yes. The medic. Go on.
The transcript reads, then near his command squad, we have his rather mad scientist looking at fallen Red Corsairs apothecary, Gary the Corpse Master, or Garion.
Gary. We are auditing a demigod of biology, a veteran of the Badab War, a monster who stitches Astartes back together with rusty wire and malice, and the civilian calls him Gary.
It does seem informal.
Informal. We are not auditing a mid-level manufactura manager, Scribe. We're not discussing Gary from accounting who microwaves fish in the break room. This is a strategic asset.
The ledger identifies him as Garion the Corpse Master, Auditor, an epic hero.
Precisely. And why does the name matter, Scribe? Is it just vanity? No, it is tax law. Gary implies a generic apothecary. A generic apothecary carries an arthesium, or an arthesium has standard deduction rates. It's predictable. It's boring.
The ledger does note that Garion's ability is not standard narthesium. It says, Garion is not a generic apothecary model. Understanding this distinction is vital because his ability is a unique dual-mode mechanic.
Exactly. It's a unique asset recovery tool. If you file him as Gary, you're looking for a tax shelter that doesn't exist. You miss the nuances of the interaction. You miss the fact that he is a named character, a part of the Masters of the Maelstrom unit. He is not just healing, he is managing a portfolio of flesh.
His choice samples ability, Auditor.
Yes, he can either bring a model back, or he can give the unit a feel no pain. It's a choice. A strategic decision, not just a blind automatic heal, misidentifying him as fraud. Pure and simple. Now, what else did the civilian get wrong? Let's move on to the asset itself.
Moving to Section 2, Asset Valuation and Durability. The civilian contractor notes the change in the Huron Blackheart datasheet. Reading from the Auspex report. First up, he's got some slightly bumped up stats. He's gone up to Toughness 5, it would seem. Previously, the one was 80 points. Toughness 4 to Toughness 5.
Slightly bumped up. The civilian calls this a slight pump. Scribe, Toughness 4 is a rounding error. Toughness 4 is a guardsman with delusions of grandeur. Toughness 5 is a portfolio.
The ledger confirms the increase to Toughness 5. It states this represents a 16.6% reduction in incoming wounds from the most common mid-strength weaponry.
Let's unpack that percentage, Scribe. Because to a civilian, toughness 5 just means he's bigger. To an auditor, it means market stability. It means insurance. Run the simulation against the most common, most basic investment in the galaxy, the Imperial Guard lasgun.
Accessing. Standard lasgun, strength 3. Against the old Huron asset toughness 4, the guardsman was wounding on 5s. A 33% chance.
No. Against toughness 5.
The wound roll shifts to a 6+ auditor. The probability of asset damage drops from 33% to 16.6%.
Half. We have literally halved the effectiveness of the single most common weapon in the entire Imperium. He can walk through last fire like it's a mild drizzle. Now run the simulation against the greenskin portfolio, the Orc Choppa.
Accessing. Standard Orc Choppa, strength 4. Against the old Huron asset toughness 4, the Orc was wounding on 4s.
The coin flip. Volatile, high risk. You put Huron in combat with a mob of boys, and statistically, half of those rusty blades are finding a gap in the armor. It's an unstable investment. But now, strength 4 versus toughness 5.
The wound roll shifts to a 5+ auditor. The probability of asset damage drops from 50% to 33%.
A massive gain in security. Now look at the Tau sector, the pulse rifle, strength 5. Previously, they were wounding our asset on 3s. That is a 66% liquidation rate on the wound roll, a disaster waiting to happen.
Now
It's 4s audited, it drops to 50%.
So from 2/3 of shots wounding to just half.
You see, this isn't just a stat change. It is a sector-wide insulation against small arms fire. We have effectively devalued the enemy's basic infantry investments. This allows Huron to operate in the open market, the midboard, with significantly less fear of liquidation by chaff. But that's not the only durability increase, is it? The civilian mentions something else.
Yes, Auditor. The Auspecs report states, though he is going to be tankier to take down as he gets a 5+ feel no pain.
A 5+ feel no pain. Now we are cooking the books. Scribe, do you know what a 5+ feel no pain represents in terms of effective capital?
The ledger suggests it. It increases durability.
It is a 50% increase in effective health. It means for every wound the enemy tries to inflict, they statistically need to inflict more. If Huron has 5 wounds and he ignores 1/3 of all damage taken, the enemy must inflict 7.5 damage to liquidate him.
It's an unlisted asset on the balance sheet.
It's a hidden reserve. Finally, an asset that doesn't liquidate itself the moment a sniper looks at the quarterly earnings. The ledger has a term for this, doesn't it?
The ledger calls this asset depreciation prevention. It notes this ensures Huron can survive the snapfire of precision sniper units like Vindicare assassins.
Precisely. Before, a Vindicare looks at Huron, rolls a die, and Huron is a write-off, a liability. Now, he shrugs it off, he ignores the damage. It is tax evasion for your health bar. And the Departmento approves in this specific instance. But now we get to the gloss-brained error, the big one, the discrepancy that makes me want to order and exterminate us on the transcription server.
You mean Section 3, the objective control error?
The inflation, the sheer unadulterated economic illiteracy of it all. Read the civilian claim. Read it and weep for the state of imperial literacy.
The Auspecs transcript reads, then he's got a +1 OC aura that's swapped out for a +10 OC for his own unit.
Hyperinflation, a +10 objective control bonus, flat, on 1 unit. If I saw a flat +10 bonus on a single model's ledger, I would audit the game designer personally. Do you understand what +10 OC does to the economy of the game?
It would make the unit very difficult to shift from an objective.
It creates a bubble, an unflippable objective. It's market manipulation of the highest order. It's the kind of thing that causes entire systems to collapse.
The ledger corrects this, Auditor. It states, official verification confirms this was a transcription error. The actual rule is a +1 OC aura.
A +1 OC aura. Thank the Emperor for the correction. But listen to me, citizen, and you too, Scribe. This is where the math gets beautiful. The civilian hears +1 and thinks small number. A pittance. I hear +1 aura and I hear compound interest. Explain the scaling, Scribe. Use the ledger's example.
According to the meta report synthesis, the aura scales with unit size. The example given is Huron leading a squad of 10 chosen.
Go on, do the math, show your work.
A single chosen model has an objective control value of 2, so 10 chosen would normally have an OC of 20.
Correct. A respectable, but not unbreakable, hold on the market.
With the +1 OC aura from Huron, each of those 10 models becomes OC3. So 10 times 3 is 30 OC.
30 OC. And what does Huron himself contribute?
His own OC is 4 + 1 from the aura makes 5. So the total is 35.
35. from one unit. A flat +10 would be static. It would be penny stock violence, unstable, prone to nerfs, prone to audits. But an aura, it rewards investment. You invest in 10 Chosen, you get a massive return. You invest in 5 Legionaries, you get a smaller but still significant return. It scales. It is a healthy market strategy. But there is a caveat, a fine print in the contract that the civilian barely touched on.
The ledger notes, the aura does not apply if the unit is battle-shocked or has the damned keyword.
The damned clause, mocking the players who forget to read the fine print of their contracts. You think you own that objective with your 35 OC? One shadow in the warp, one dread test, one moment of panic, and your assets are frozen.
They drop to 0 OC.
0. You go from the richest man on the board to a pauper in a single phase. That is why we audit Scribe, to find the risk. But let's clarify the damned keyword for the citizens who don't read the terms of service. Scribe, what triggers the damned status?
The damned keyword is applied when a unit fails a Dark Pact test, Auditor.
The Dark Pact. The predatory loan. The subprime mortgage of the 41st millennium. You borrow power from the Chaos God's lethal hits or sustained hits to increase your offensive output. But at the end of the phase, the bill comes due.
You must roll a leadership test. If you fail, you take D3 mortal wounds and gain the damned keyword for the rest of the battle.
And that is the trap. You get greedy. You want those lethal hits to kill a tank. You make the pact. You fail the test. Suddenly your unit is damned. And what happens to your beautiful 35 OC investment?
It evaporates. The +1 OC aura shuts off immediately.
You go from owning the primary objective to owning nothing. You are insolvent. This is why risk management is key, citizens. Do not make a dark pact if you cannot afford the interest rate. Do not leverage your primary objective control against a risky short-term gain.
Auditors, okay. I'm attempting to access the next file, section 4, regarding the offensive output, but the ventilation fans, they're making a grinding noise.
Beak up, Servitor. This place is falling apart.
Peak air quality. The recaf fumes. I cannot seem to focus the data slate.
Blast this ventilation. We are in the Departmento Analytica, the brain of the war effort, and I am breathing recycled Promethium coolant. The ink for this cool costs more than your life, Scribe, and yet I cannot get a decent cup of recaf or a breath of fresh air. It's a disgrace to the Imperium.
Apologies, Auditor. I will recalibrate my optical sensors.
You there, the citizen listening to this feed. You think this is easy. You think you can audit the books better than Valarius Krauss. You think you know the meta because you watched a 10-minute video on your breaks? I challenge you. Go to the comments section right now. Post your corrections. Tell me I'm wrong about the math. Tell me that +10 OC was real. I need a reason to deny your ration coupons this month. I am begging you to give me an excuse.
Auditor, please, your blood pressure. The cogitators are registering a spike. The audit must continue. Section 4. Liquidation and violence, commonly known as Math Hammer.
You are right, Scribe. The anger is inefficient. Let us turn our minds to something soothing. Violence. Calculated, efficient liquidation of enemy assets.
The Auspecs report mentions the new weapon profile for Huron's Claw. 6 attacks at strength 8, AP 3, and damage 3. And it notes the interactions with the full Death Star unit.
Strength 8, AP 3, damage 3. That is not a weapon, Scribe. That is a hostile takeover bid. The Ledger has run the simulations. We need to verify the night check.
The night check.
Can this unit liquidate a super heavy walker in a single physical quarter? A single fight phase. Read the parameters from the Ledger. I want every detail.
Target. Imperial Knight Gallant. Toughness 12, 22 wounds, 3+ save. No invulnerable save in melee. The attacking unit is Huron Blackheart, Qatar Garrix, and 10 Chosen under the effects of Dark Pacts for lethal hits on a 5+ stuff.
Walk me through the liquidation step by step. I want to hear the dice hit the table. Start with the man himself, Huron Blackheart.
Step 1. Huron Blackheart, he has 6 attacks, he hits on a 2+ air, and his own ability allows him to reroll hit rolls of 1. So effectively, he always hits.
Excellent. No wasted potential.
Strength 8 versus Toughness 12 would normally need a 6 to wound, but with the Dark Pact for lethal hits.
Auto wounds. We love auto wounds. They cut through the red tape of the wound roll. How many go through?
On average, 2 of his 6 attacks will be a 5 or a 6, triggering lethal hits. The other 4 will fail to wound.
Wait. Check the detachment rule, the Renegade Raiders bonus, if they are on an objective marker. Yes. Despoilers of Worlds. They gain +1 to their strength characteristic if they are within range of an objective marker.
So his strength becomes 9.
Strength 9 versus toughness 12. Still needs a 6. A flaw in the plan. No matter. The lethal hits are the primary method, but what about the AP?
His Tyrant's Claw is AP 3. With the same detachment bonus, if they are on an objective, all their weapons gain an additional Manic 1 AP.
So it becomes AP4.
Correct. The Knight's 3+ armor save becomes a 7+ back, it gets no save.
That's raw depreciation. So how much damage does Huron do on his own?
2 lethal hits go through, each deals 3 damage, so 6 damage on average.
Not quite the 7.5 the simulation suggested. Run it again.
Yeah.
I see. The Scribe must be calculating using only the raw stats. The full simulation includes stratagems. The Veterans of the Long War stratagem, what does it do?
It adds +1 to the wound roll for 1 command point.
There it is. Now his strength 9 wounds, toughness 12 on a 5+ pace, so with lethal hits in the stratagem.
With full rerolls to hit, we expect roughly 5 hits. 2 of those will be lethals. The other 3 will wound on a 5++ feat, so 1 more wound. 3 successful wounds in total, 3 times 3 damage.
9 damage. Much better. That's almost half a night. Gone. Just from the CEO. Now bring in the consultant, Qatar Garrix.
Qatar Garrix wields the Axe of Ending. It has anti-character 4 plus FET, but against a vehicle. Its base profile is Strength 6, AP 1, Damage 2. With the objective bonus, Strength 7, AP 2.
Weak. Pathetic. But with the stratagem and lethal hits.
Strength 7 wounds, toughness 12 on a 6. The stratagem makes it a 5+ FET. Combined with lethals, he contributes another 4 to 5 damage on average.
Now the workforce. The 10 chosen.
This is where the volume comes in. They have a mix of accursed weapons and power fists, with the objective bonus and the stratagem, and lethal hits. The simulation sums the total damage from the entire unit to approximately 22.7.
22.7 damage. The Knight has 22 wounds. The asset is stripped. The Walker is liquidated. 1 round of combat, 1 command point. No anti-tank guns required. Just a swarm of pirates with spreadsheets and power fists. This is what we call stripping the assets.
It is terrifyingly efficient, Auditor. But what about assets with tax shelters, invulnerable saves, the Terminator audit?
Ah, yes. Terminators. 2 plus 8. 4 plus invulnerable. They think they are safe. They think they are tax exempt. But invulnerable saves are just tax loopholes, and we found a way to close them.
The ledger highlights the role of Qatar Garrix again here. His weapon has precision and anti-character 4+1.
Explain the tactics, Scribe. The headhunt. This is crucial.
With precision, Garrix can choose to allocate his attacks to a character model in the target unit, even if other models are closer.
So he bypasses the bodyguards. He goes straight for the leadership.
And with anti-character 4+, again, any wound roll of a 4 or better is a critical wound. It automatically succeeds.
So against, say, a Terminator captain or an apothecary, he's not just wounding on 4s, he's wounding critically. And that matters for what?
Devastating wounds. On a critical wound, the target suffers mortal wounds equal to the damage of the attack, and the attack sequence ends. His Axe of Ending is damage 2.
So every 4+ to wound is 2 mortal wounds that cannot be saved by any means. He liquidates the management first.
And then the rest of the unit Huron and the Chosen Force, so many saves from the sheer volume of AP2 and Nutty 3 attacks that the Terminator's 4+ invulnerable save statistically fails. The ledger estimates 7 to 8 Terminators die in 1 activation.
And here is the compound interest, the part that makes this whole scheme so profitable. In your next command phase, what does Garrian do?
Garrian, the Corpse Master, uses his ability to revive 1 slain Red Corsair model, a Chosen.
The Terminators stay dead. The Red Corsairs grow back. It is infinite value. You are trading stocks where you can print money and the opponent cannot. It is unfair, it is unethical, it is glorious.
Moving to Section 5, Tactics and Synergy. The ledger identifies a specific maneuver involving Captain Sargata. It calls it the Sargata Scam.
My favorite kind of white-collar crime. Insider trading and loophole abuse at its finest. Read the rule regarding Captain Sargata. The civilian transcript got her name wrong too, doesn't it?
Yes, Auditor. They called her Sarada. The ledger confirms Sargata. Her rule states, at the start of the first battle round, before the first turn begins, you can select up to 3 friendly Renegade Raiders units and redeploy them. You can use this ability on units that are embarked within a transport.
Even if embarked. Those 3 words, Scribe, are the loophole. Usually if you're in a transport, you are off the books. You cannot be seen, targeted, or use abilities.
Yeah.
But Sargata, she cooks the books from inside the tank.
The ledger describes the tactic. Deploy a Land Raider Crusader with the Huron Death Star inside, aggressively on the deployment line. This is the aggressive portfolio.
Picture it. You put a Land Raider Crusader, a massive, expensive assault vehicle, right on the edge of your deployment zone. Aggressive. High risk.
Yeah.
You are telling your opponent, I am coming for your assets.
And then the roll-off for the first turn happens.
And this is where the scam takes place. We have established that the assets are durable and profitable. But a stationary asset is a sitting duck. In this economy, if you aren't moving, you're dying. Scribe, let's break down the two market scenarios. Scenario A, you win the roll, you get the first turn. What happens?
The Land Raider moves its full 10 inches, it can advance, and then its assault ramp ability allows the unit inside to disembark and still declare a charge. It's a turn 1 alpha strike.
You crash the market before it opens, you liquidate a key enemy asset before they can even react. Scenario B, you lose the roll. The opponent goes first. Normally your Land Raider is sitting there, exposed, ready to be shot off the board by every anti-tank gun they have. A bad investment.
But with Sargata,
you activate the loophole. Before their turn begins, you use her ability. You redeploy. You pick up that Land Raider and you move it completely out of sight behind the largest piece of terrain on the board. Or you put it into strategic reserves. You hide the assets.
a ledger. It compares it to derivatives trading, betting on the market without owning the risks.
Exactly. You bet on going first. If you win the bet, you cash in. If you lose the bet, you cancel the trade with no penalty. It removes all risk from an otherwise high-risk, high-reward maneuver. It is the Sargata Scam, and every Red Corsair player should be abusing it until the data slate auditors close it down.
Section 6. Movement assets. The Hamadrya.
The pet, the familiar, the tax-exempt dependent claimed on Huron's tax return.
The Auspex report notes a significant change. Previously, the Hamadrya granted a move once per game. Now, it's gone up to a normal move of D3+3 once per battle round.
Once per battle round, not once per game, every turn. Both players' turns. This is a critical distinction.
The trigger is whenever an enemy unit ends a normal advance or fallback move within 9 inches.
This is liquidity, Scribe. Movement is cash. If you can move, you can spend. If you're stuck, you are insolvent. The Hamadryas makes Huron the most liquid asset on the board. He's always able to reposition.
The ledger describes the area of denial this creates. If an enemy moves within 9 inches to set up a charge, Huron can simply move D3+3 inches away.
Let's do the math for the slow-witted citizens. The enemy unit is 9.1 inches away. They need to get closer for a reliable charge. They move 3 inches forward, ending their move 6.1 inches away. Now what happens?
Huron triggers the reactive move. He rolls, let's say an average of 2 on the D3. He moves 5 inches directly away.
So he is now 11.1 inches away from them.
11-inch charge is statistically very unlikely, even with a reroll.
It's a massive risk for them. They've wasted their movement phase. They tried to serve him a subpoena, and he hopped on a private shuttle to the Cayman Islands. And this happens every single turn.
The ledger calls this a zombie loop.
Because it never stops. Your opponent's turn, they move up. You dodge. Your turn, you move up, shoot, prepare to dodge again. It is an evasion of liability. The enemy cannot charge what they cannot catch. And if they try to shoot him, he uses the move to slip behind a wall. It is frustrating. It is cowardly. It is peak performance.
We are approaching the final section of the audit, Auditor, Section 7, the future market, the implications for 11th edition.
Ah, the speculation. The futures market. This is where the real money is made. What does the ledger say about the Crucible of Champions?
The ledger notes that the Maelstrom, layer of the Tyrant campaign, which introduced this detachment, includes a module for custom character creation. Crucible of Champions reintroduces modular hero construction rules.
More paperwork. Custom heroes, just what we need.
The Auspex report mentions some of the options. A Turellian dog soldier, a juvenile Biogeezy hound, a fallen apothecary.
These are not just flavor text, Scribe. Look at the structure. They are beta testing the next fiscal year. This is 11th edition sneaking in through the back door.
The ledger posits. If the community responds positively to this level of customization, we can anticipate a pivot away from the fixed datasheet philosophy of 10th edition toward a more granular RPG-light system.
Exactly. The fixed datasheet economy is collapsing. 10th edition was about simplified cards, index cards, easy to file, low administrative overhead. But this Masters of the Maelstrom, it's a complex, multi-model unit with custom abilities, Xenos mercenaries, and weird interactions. It is messy. It is complex. It is the future.
Phoebe, we should expect more audit complexity in the future, a greater regulatory burden for the players.
You should expect the workload to double, Scribe. They are testing the waters. If the players can handle the math of the Sargata Scam and the Garian Heel and the Hamadrya's Dodge all in one unit, then 11th edition will be a bureaucratic nightmare of interlocking rules and exceptions, and we will be there to audit it.
That concludes the cross-reference of the source materials, Auditor. The Auspex report, while containing gloss-brained errors regarding names and specific values, did correctly identify the souped-up nature of the unit. The ledger confirms the S-tier status.
S-tier. Top of the meta. The peak of the market.
Auditor. Are you satisfied?
Satisfied. Scribe. Look at Huron Blackheart. Really look at him. He runs the Maelstrom. He has infinite wealth. He has a fleet that rivals the Indomitus Crusade. He has a 5+ feel no pain and a pet that lets him dodge his taxes.
He is a success story. By all metrics, a highly successful asset.
He is a tragedy. He is just another pirate in a galaxy burning down. He accumulates wealth, objective control, command points, ships. But for what? To rule a kingdom of dust. To sit on a throne of scrap metal and watch the stars go out.
The ledger says, we are all just raiders in the void.
Precisely. The Red Corsairs strip the dead empire for parts. They take the pauldrons, the bolters, the ships. And what do? In the Departmento Analytica, we strip the citizens for taxes, we strip the reports for data. We are all just raiders, Scribe. Some use bolters, we use spreadsheets. There's no moral high ground here.
That is a very bleak outlook, Auditor.
It is the only outlook.
Yeah.
The galaxy is a ledger written in red ink, and we are the only ones keeping the tally.
Shall I close the file? Audit complete?
Not yet. We must issue the final demand.
The call to action.
To the listener.
Yeah.
The taxable asset. You have heard the audit. You know the value of the Red Corsairs now.
Yeah.
Do not be like the gloss-brained civilians misquoting the rules. Learn the math. Apply the leverage. And for the love of the Empire, tap that like and hit subscribe. It is the only currency that matters in the dark.
Filing complete. Audit. #40KRC stored.
Dismissed. Pay your tithes, citizens.